Jai Hind viewers, on behalf of TRISHAKTI Defence Academy Lucknow, I welcome you on this show. I am Major General S.K. Singh. आज हम चर्चा करने जा रहे हैं द लेटेस्ट सीज़ फायर एग्रीमेंट विच हैज़ टेकन प्लेस बिटवीन इसराइल एंड लेबनान. ये 3 दिन हो गए हैं इस सीज़ फायर डील को हुए, एंड दिस सीज़ फायर वाज स्पॉन्सर्ड बाय, और यू कैन से मीडिएटेड बाय, इनिशिएटेड बाय America and France. Now both the parties, that is the Lebanon as well as Hezbollah, I would say, and the Israel, तीनों ने इस चीज़ को एक्सेप्ट किया है, दिस डील को. इससे पहले कि मैं आपको टेल यू द डिटेल्स एज टू व्हाट ऑल आर द डिटेल्स रिगार्डिंग दिस सीज़ फायर एंड हाउ फार विल इट होल्ड, होगा नहीं होगा, फ्यूचर में क्या होगा, all those analysis of that. But before that, I'll request you to please subscribe for our channel and like this video and share it as much as possible. So आइए बढ़ते हैं. Let's see the details. Now the details of this deal are, firstly, the blue line. You must understand what is the blue line. Blue line is the boundary between the Lebanon and Israel. And उससे ऊपर north of this blue line, which is the boundary line, there is a river Litani. Now the area between river Litani and blue line was being monitored by CISF, which was deployed there, as also no troops were supposed to be here in between. Only the Lebanese army could be there as per the agreement which had taken place in 2006. And as you are aware that Israel and Lebanon has already had a full-fledged outblown war in the year 2006, and uske baad peace deal was mediated by UN, and a United Nations resolution by the number of 1401 was endorsed between both the countries, and as per that only the Lebanese troops should have been there between river Litani and a blue line, that is the boundary line. So, but over a period of time, Hezbollah has been encroaching all these areas and interfering into the Israeli defense, and they have been firing missiles and all sorts of trouble they have been creating. And of late, as you know, that the war which actually started between Israel and Hamas, and the Hezbollah opened up a separate front. हालांकि उनकी टैक्टिक्स आई वुड से बहुत ही अच्छी थी, क्योंकि उन्होंने देखा कि आफ्टर ऑल 7-8 मंथ्स जब हो गए हैं, ऑलमोस्ट अ ईयर और 9-10 मंथ्स हो गए हैं, एंड दैट इज़ द टाइम दे ओपनड अप अ न्यू फ्रंट इन द नॉर्थ, so that they can take on very easily the Israeli army, which was already tired, I would say, fighting for 9-10 months. So इन्होंने ये फ्रंट खोला with this aim, but then it bounced back. अबे हुआ क्या? How did the Israeli forces counter all this? You know, it was very difficult. They were much better equipped as compared to the Hamas. The underground tunneling system was also much better than the Hamas. So it have been a very much problem for IDF or the Israeli forces to fight Hezbollah. But then see their guts. All the top leadership, first they eliminated that, of course, as a reactionary capability. They have been firing the moment Hezbollah has been firing. They have been through the air strikes, through the missile strikes, they have been striking deep into the Lebanon wherever they found that Hezbollahs are present, and not bothered at all by the civilian casualties kitni honi hai, the destruction to the infrastructure within the Lebanon. They were not just bothered for that, but their sole aim was that Hezbollah troops should be killed and eliminated. And of course, so उन्होंने सबसे पहले simultaneously what they did, that the top leadership of Hezbollah, that was they had almost, you can say, nullified totally. उन्होंने almost top 16 leaders को मारा है, whichever countries they have been, whether it is in Iran or Lebanon or anywhere in the world. The Mossad has been very, very active in this, and hats off to Mossad, the way they have conducted these operations. Just to name a few of these top 16, Yahya Sinwar, who was the topmost leader, Hassan Nasrallah, Fatah Sharif, Ali Karki, Nabil Kok, Mohammad Sarur, Ibrahim Kubesi, Ibrahim Akil, Ahmad Mahmoud Wahabi, Fauj Shukr and similarly others who have been managing Hezbollah troops, the entire army I would say of Hezbollah, whether it is equipping them, recruiting them, financing them, तो इन सब ने मिलकर जो है इन सब ने एक ऐसी स्ट्रॉन्ग आर्मी खड़ी करी थी जिसको इसराइल हैज़ बीन एबल टू नेगेट ऑल दैट एंड ऑफ कोर्स वट एवर खुद ने जो कैजुअलिटीज़ ली हैं दैट ऑफ कोर्स इज़ देयर इज़ नो डाउट ऑन दैट बट देन द टोटल मोरल of Hezbollah was totally broken, and that is how they came on to back foot and they accepted this deal. Now चलिए चलते हैं कि इस डील में एक्चुअली हुआ क्या है. Now as per this deal, 40 kilometers north of the blue line, which is the international boundary between Jordan and Israel, no Hezbollah troops will be there. In case they are there, it will be the responsibility of Lebanon to ensure that they withdraw from there. And simultaneously, if the Israeli troops, as it is, they are there on ground because they are on the offensive, so they will also withdraw and come south of the blue line. So this is the first thing, and within this, Lebanon army will be allowed to operate and to deploy, but there will be no infrastructure, no deployment, no boots, no troops of Hezbollah will be there between the 40 kilometers north of this blue line. They Hezbollah troops, however, can be there between river Litani and 40 kilometers north of this blue line. उसके बीच का जो एरिया है वहाँ पर वो हो सकते हैं, बट उसके साउथ में. इसके अलावा जो है for 60 days this ceasefire will be there. This will be as a test module, you can say, and extended in case if it succeeds, then of course it can become as a permanent measure. But let's see what happens in this 60 days, that is 2 months time. Is too long a time, I would say, and as it is within 2 days के अंदर ही अंदर Hezbollah has validated the ceasefire, and of course since Hezbollah fired, so Israeli troops have also fired, so they also validated. So yes, I mean it's a very very thin border and weak border, I would say, because all of sudden एकदम से war खत्म होना between these two parties, it is a difficult proposition, so it will take time. I am quite sure it will get stabilized and some sense will prevail with the Hezbollah as well as with Israel. Basically the responsibility lies with the Hezbollah, and of course it will be the Lebanon responsibility. So I mean this deal has been welcomed by all, and the Hezbollah की एक बहुत बड़ी डिमांड थी so far why this deal was not progressing earlier. उनकी ये डिमांड थी कि जितने भी जो prisoners हैं, the prisoners held with Israeli, they also should be released. However, they have now not pressing on to that demand. They are not pressing on with this, and that is how this deal went through. So let's hope so. But then what about Gaza? You see, the war actually had started between Israel and Hamas. That was the original front, but the second front was open, and of course Iran tried to open the third front, but then that was nullified by the American pressure on Iran. Retaliation, counter firing of the missiles, that of course took place between the two countries, that is Israel and Iran, but of course it was stabilized and no further retaliation took place, which was a good thing. Otherwise this could have led to a third world war, I would say, but then that situation was avoided. So third front was closed. Now this is the second front which has been closed. So now the war between Israel and Hamas will of course continue, but then there is always a window of opportunity. Now this ceasefire, if it is successful, I am quite sure the next ceasefire deal which is going to take place will be between Israel and Palestine, that is the Hamas, which at least if one thinks positively, we are quite hopeful. So let's hope for. Only thing, the time will tell that. So that's all, viewers. Before I end, do not forget to subscribe our channel and like and share the video as much as possible. This much of information is actually good enough for you students who are appearing for the SSB in the various centers. So thank you very much for watching this video. Jai Hind.